MVP recreate their early game and pull off some other good moves, or will Kingzone be able to arrest some of the problems that slowed down their advance in Game 1? We get to find out right now.
Yeah. Champion select now, and we'll see what MVP decide to take away first. Talia, removed from BDD, understandable ban. My goodness, he played extraordinarily well the last outing that Kingzone had, where he was able to get his hands on the champion.
I wonder if Kingzone leave Galio open, because Ian has played no games of Galio this season, unless I'm mistaken. Hasn't been a big pick for him. So can confirm, yeah, he's played no Galio. There's been games where the enemy team on red side has left Galio open and taken it first round because they know Ian won't take it. So we'll see if Ian is going to vary up his approach to the champion. Could still be a ban on red side, and Kingzone don't want to chance it, but does mean that some of the global impact, in fact 3 global impact champions, have been banned away.
Yeah, 3 mid laners as well, so getting a little bit pinched up there. Still, Zoe available and the Azir available as well. Still, kind of hope that it gets pinched even further so that we might get a glimpse of Ian's Syndra. Needs to be a lot of things taken away. Is Curious Vladimir ban. Haven't seen a look at the Hemomancer himself very recently.
Does provide a bit of coverage for the top lane tanks. The thing I'll take from this is that Kingzone have left up the Zoe to their downfall a couple of times this season. They've been a bit more open about leaving it, and they will do that again here. So we saw early Xayah Rakan come through in our first series. They'll leave Zoe open. Gangplank also being open does prompt MVP to consider their options on the blue side.
So what I was talking about in game number 1, though, is bait out the opportunity of going for the Gangplank that ADD does have a decent win record on for a team that hasn't done a lot of winning. And then have Khan go nuts at it with a pick of his choosing. The Riven, of course, an opportunity, one that we've thought about.
We've seen him go the Gnar side of the matchup and not really gain too massive in it. So you can attack lane super hard with the Riven. You can go Jace, which would be comfort for the team. Interested to see which way they approach it.
Hard to build a team composition around both of those picks as well, unless they play something similar to what they did last time.
Varus Braum is available here on red side. Could certainly be considered.
Sejuani again as well. I mean, Peanut did play very, very well.
Sejuani would be a nice pickup and give them some engage, and they've had some engage problems in the past, so I don't mind them kind of overloading on engage. I feel like Kingzone struggle the most when top lane goes for a pressure lane like Sion, but they don't back it up with initiation and other roles. And speaking of initiation, pick power on the Skarner, another one of the bounty of big champions are left open. You'll notice Zoe goes through, and it could be Zoe Gangplank, the permaban duo in most regions, if MVP won.
They could go Sejuani Zoe here. And
then it just feels like they're cheating.
Yeah, just like they're picking their own champions as well. It's like it was blind pick the whole way down, potentially. Smady carries still available as well, a lot of options. Ezreal, like we saw in game number 1, and that is going to be prioritized here for Peanut. Sorry, for Pilot. Peanut. I think it might be getting late, Papa.
If you want Sejuani, you probably have to take it now. Probably say the same thing about Zoe, so we'll see what MVP make of this pick.
Still the Malzahar, which has been a favorite of Pawn into the Zoe, could be an opportunity here. So and Beyond would certainly fit the comp.
But Beyond will now get his champion pool pinched after not looking for a jungler in this round. I doubt there's going to be too many support bans. If BDD wants the Azir, this would be the time to take it, but they might be piling on with the Jace.
Yeah, not giving MVP the opportunity to ban out champions on the top side of the map. I have a feeling that that may not have necessarily been the case anyway, but I do like it. Now, you're exactly right. I mean, Zac and Sejuani sound like bans that would suit Kingzone now. Make sure Beyond isn't on any sort of comfort possible, because his Zac was definitely worth respecting.
I wonder if you ban it, because if you consider what happens if they drop Zac, it would be Gangplank Zac, so duo that needs a lot of time to scale.
That's true.
There is the potential that that will be too much scaling, but I agree in that he showed a good performance, so you might consider banning it anyway.
Well, the Malzahar is going to get sought out.
This feels like a Rek'Sai game for Beyond, one of our last Rek'Sai players, something that can get down and dirty in the early game and try to help some of the tricky lanes, but we'll be at the double ban against the scaling engage junglers. They'll need to find primary engage from somewhere on the side of MVP. It'll probably be top lane. with the Gangplank ultimate, but the support role would be the other place they could find something like an Alistair to help out the engage.
Yeah, I was going to say Alistair standing out like a bit of a sore thumb as the Braum is taken away. Tahm Kench also there and fits the pick composition mantra as well if they are going to have Khan in a side lane. So pretty standard stuff here from Kingzone, and waiting until the whole team is fleshed out for MVP before BDD makes his decision. Could also be playing the Jace, of course, in the mid lane, but haven't seen that for quite some time.
Really do expect Alistair from Max. Only played a single time this season, not as high priority as others. Jungle pick will be first. Jax would be obviously a very measured pick, and also some extra tankiness in team fights to the auto attacks from the Jace, and
can get things done in the early game as well. I actually like the Jace from Beyond.
And there is the Alistair. So Ezreal Alistair is the duo.
Damn, it's a power draft from MVP.
Oh, for certain. But the question is, what does BDD make of this draft? Is Orianna, of course, one that he would want to avoid, but the Echo is actually going to be a consideration here into the Zoe. Be another pick into Zoe than we've seen. Will be the first time we're seeing this matchup.
Second time we've seen the Echo as well. I believe Lava debuted it last time around.
Tricky matchup against Azir. Tricky matchup against the Zoe as well. So mid lane Echo coming through from BDD, making a page out of the Rocks Tigers playbook here.
I like it. We get some assassins back in the mid lane. If this starts to catch on, who knows? Maybe we'll have Zed back in there and some fun stuff.
Remember, it also gives them a lot of 1-3-1 options, as Echo is a fantastic side laner. Whatever item build we see could be something super safe, like the Abyssal Mask, but my guess is Proto Belt Lichbane. That's sort of an approach here. Risky against the Zoe, but Jace and Echo patrolling the side lanes, and Skarner coming out of the darkness. There is a lot of threat in the 1-3-1 if they can set it up.
Could you imagine if we also had like a tier Varus for some reason out of prey, and then has ultimate wave clear them with the piercing arrow from safety at range, and then also has Tahm Kench to save him? This could be the most ridiculous 1-3-1 composition that you could ever play, but it's been a long time, of course, since the tier Varus did come in and doesn't necessarily have the lane presence, so wouldn't expect it. Would be fun, I'll tell you that much. Peanut, once again, probably going to be a bit of a herbivore in the early game. This is the lane that we're really going to be excited about watching. See whether BDD is going to be able to put the pressure on in the earlier stages. If he gets hit by a troublesome trouble bubble, the chrono break could actually be used. But it's a bit on the nose that he has actually played Echo. Probably trying to avoid a pause in game number 2. What better way to do it than to be able to go back in time? So BDD's got it. If we've got any problems in this one, but guys, here we are loading up for game number 2. It feels like it's time for game number 3, but no, we could have heaps of League of Legends to go, so let's get onto the Rift.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 환영합니다.
Oh, MVP fans getting pretty excited. Oh, Peanut's using my Skarner skin. This is the best.
You made this skin?
No, I didn't. It's just my favorite one since it came out when I was playing Rageblade Skarner.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
No, I tried to forget.
Back then. Yeah.
A lot of Prey fans and Peanut fans, of course, in the audience. Very, very popular players. Apparently the sign said, literally, Peanut marry me, Andy tells us on Mumble.
Thank you very much, Andy.
Very forward by that fan.
ADD going to get potentially stunned up here. The E has actually been skilled by Peanut. Beyond slowed down as well as the tongue lash comes in. Gorilla is a hungry catfish, but he's going to wander away.
And I've got some fun news for Kingzone fans. We have 2 professional debuts here in terms of champions. First time Peanut jumps on the Skarner in his career.
Oh, wow.
Hasn't really been a meta champion for the better part of 2015 onwards. And first time that BDD's on the Echo. So a couple of professional debuts here. Go along with some standard stuff from Prey, Gorilla, and Khan.
I'm actually really excited because it's interesting that you say that they're debuts of these champions, but it fits the playstyle of both of these players extraordinarily well.
I've definitely been waiting for mid lane Echo to be a thing for some of our high school mid laners in Korea. We don't see a lot of it from Faker. I think I just started casting the LCK when Echo was released, and we were all super hyped for mid lane assassination Echo, and we see it sometimes, but BD, another great mechanical player. potential in team fights, how much survivability and also burst damage you can do with an AP build is really fun to track on the mid lane AP Echo.
Yeah, it's all of those players that did play Fizz, you'd think would just be extraordinary Echo players. And of course, Faker, one of those players to pick up the Fizz, but he's not as much of the Echo.
I think of Zed as well. I think of Assassins.
Yeah, Zed as well.
It is an Assassin playstyle in the mid lane. Thankfully, we're gone from the days of top lane tank Echo,
which made me so sad.
And then Sassen played mid lane tank Echo one time, and it made me even extra sad.
Yeah.
I had an existential crisis. I had to take time off casting.
Yeah, I would.
It was a real thing.
Yeah.
So bot lane going to be the standard King Zone, never getting any ganks, never dying as Varus and Tom Kench. The 1-3-1 is what they want to scale into, and if you want some information about the runes, Electrocute, Sudden Impact, the Zombie Ward, and Relentless Hunter, and then Celerity Scorch. So
yeah,
a lot of laning power here.
As well, yeah. Not wanting to wait. Seems to be the King's own way as Phase Rush actually gets BDD well and truly in here. Execute proc. Pretty easy. See a Trouble Bubble go down. BDD says it's on. Picks that one up.
I don't know where this game is going to go when it comes from King Zone. If they can get out of lane. See if King Zone going to jungle around the top side at all, given that we saw Khan fall pretty desperately behind in the game against last time that we saw against Afrika. And yep, we're doing it again.
Yep, it's a potential dive opportunity underneath this turret as Khan still has the flash. He's going to use it. Red buff from ADD, sorry, and the passive from ADD, not enough. Now Peanut is going to make his way up. So Khan, no flash, playing with fire right now, trying to bait something in. This Peanut is going to turn up. Oh, okay. Flash comes in from beyond. Counter-Strike means that he gets a cute little stun. That is about that. Teleport available for Khan, so Peanut will just grab some free experience.
Nice bait there, but does mean that Khan gives up on quite a lot of experience topside. Was baiting the flash leap strike and successfully did that. Khan coming back into lanes, going to feel good. Now the side lanes can play so much more aggressive, as a lot of the threat early game is the ability to flash leap strike and counter strike for a strong lane gank.
Yep, not going to be too afraid of Beyond now. But no flash available for Khan, and flash is up for ADD. Not that it necessarily means a whole lot, because he's not known for his
the stun actually registers.
Yeah, Ian actually going to take a lot of damage here as well. Cute, cheeky Trouble Bubble. So Peanut not going to be able to get in there quite as quickly, but if Echo is anything, he's sticky. Phase Rush is in. Max isn't going to turn up in time, and that's first blood for BDD. He didn't even need any help.
No, he had so much chase, he keeps his flash open as well. And Alistair coming in, trying to defend, was half a second too late. The last auto taking him down. The Skarner only going to pick up some Raptors, a bit of counter jungling possible for the Skarner. But what couldn't happen top with reinforcements, BDD does on his own. In with a severe misplay, allowing the stun to arm.
Yeah. Not good enough. It's been a long time since anyone's had to play against the old Echo. Is ADD, man, he's had a lot of practice on this Gangplank recently. Been arming these barrels very, very well. I don't think of him necessarily as your GP player, but over the last few games that he's been able to pick up some wins, and also the amount of practice that he has been doing, he's turned himself into quite a GP'er.
And this is from a player who's known for his tanks, known for his
That's what I mean.
Shogun. So to have that extra string to his bow is
probably
necessary.
Sounds weird talking about how he's good at Gangplank when
I don't want to say it's that impressive, but it's the thing where he needed to be able to play it. It's not impressive people can play Gangplank. You have to, because he's been so out of line for so long. But at the end of the day, 3-3 on a team that, of course, didn't win its first 10 games of the season is very good reading for the Gangplank. And see if they can play the side lanes in this game to get some value out of the Cannon Barrage, which is close to being available.
You can see actually this game, Kingzone are opting in for a lot of topside vision, wanting to make sure that Khan can play as aggressive as he likes, not have to deal with Beyond being frustrating early, but I feel like already a lot of this damage has been done. You can see ADD, decent CS lead given that wave that was missed by Khan in the early game. In goes Max actually, nice double pull. Aftershock isn't going to register.
And very little threat from Max while his flash is down. You're not really expecting a aggressive headbutt pulverize down a lane. You're very suspicious if you saw that. So pressure relieved actually by BDD getting the solo kill and Max being forced to waste a summoner trying to contest it.
Now, Going to continue to try and at least challenge this top lane, but parallel convergence comes down. This is what makes it so difficult to use the portal jump.
If you're ever telegraphed, and Ian was on that particular occasion, then you're going to get super punished by the parallel convergence. So that's a fun matchup fact that we didn't consider.
Yeah, very, very cool.
BDD's had a lot of practice. He was opting into the Azir before in the skill matchup. This one's another skill matchup, but a mechanic that we haven't seen abused in other regions is being abused to make the Zoe much more accountable. Now, of course, it is the final week of Zoe dominance, so we're going to be much more niche a pick come 8.4. Sad it took this long to hit the LCK, but cool to see.
Well, when is someone going to pick the Swain into it as well? Because you might actually be able to land the W, right?
Swain's not very good at the current balance level, but give it a couple of buffs and he'll get there.
Okay. It's fine. I want to talk about Sith lasers and stuff.
With Star Wars to talk about?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Doe is gone. We need someone to talk about Star Wars.
It's true.
For next to no reason. Gorilla going to lick people from the brush. Like it a lot. Catfish amongst the reeds.
It will be aggressive build. Proto Belt going to be the first item here from BDD. No doubt, of course. I said Abyssal Mask, but I was half snickering.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to see it.
Actually, I thought that if we were going to be depressed again, it would have been the Abyssal Mask.
There is reason for depression on the top side. ADD is way ahead in CS, and Constant has his flash up in about half a second.
Yep, trying to get in there. The flash to follow, but Kani's going to survive. BDD's turned up. That was teleport used to get him towards the top side of the map. Full vision available. He's going to land from Peanut. Says, yep, sorted myself out. Got the assist.
Oh!
Have fun. True Shot Barrage. Oh, my goodness. Cool guys don't watch True Shot Barrages fly past their face. And that could have just been a free one for Pilot.
It does mean Merc Tread's complete. Not quite Proto Belt for BDD, but I feel like Khan has been living on the edge of half a Teemo for first a leap strike from the enemy Jax, and now a parlay coming through from the Gangplank. Living in the fast lane, that's what happens when you play the Jace. Fast and loose, but so far, it has certainly been working for Kingzone. The ganks that registered previously against it is, speaking of previously, we're going to see a turn onto Max.
Yeah, could be a big problem. Slowed down by the hail of arrows as now Kingzone are trying to close the distance. He doesn't land from Peanut this time, and he's just going to walk away immediately.
Draws teleport out of ADD as well, so instantly cancelled, but something we should talk about.
Alright, BDD just throwing out parallel convergence just in case there could be a potential follow-up with a Paddle Star. This matchup, I hadn't actually thought about it. You know, I hadn't really considered this as being sort of the ultimate Zoe move, but seems to be working out very well so far for BDD. There's another one. Parallel convergence coming down.
Again.
Yep, Ian is just getting caught in almost every single one of these. The flash is going to be used. The heal was used as well. Counter-Strike comes down. The flash from beyond means that he gets out of the way of Impale range, and Peanut didn't want to use the Summoner spell.
I mean, BD is making Ian look silly in the mid lane. Has to double Summoner to get away from that one. And it makes sense, because if you think about it, the portal jump is predictable. It has a fixed duration. It has a fixed return point. So if you have an arm time that's around the same time as the portal jump, throw it down, and if you predict correctly, great. If you don't have to engage.
Yeah, it's
on
so
the parallel
non-committal,
convergence.
isn't it? Yeah.
This is going to be pretty committal, though, Atlas.
Yeah, they are committing. Right underneath. Sets up the sand bubble. Not going to be actually finding any of the stuns, but it doesn't matter. He's split the bottom lane enough. Pilot gets pulled out, and special delivery. That's one free one over to Prey. BDD tanks it up for a long, long time. He wanted to use the ultimate there, really wanted to try and get some damage onto Beyond, but doesn't quite get on top of his little sandy follower.
And MVP are finding a Kingzone team playing just as fast as they were trying to do in Game 1. MVP's great ganking stopped that from happening. They're being just as proactive here. It feels like we have a Galio mid lane, and now it feels like death for Ian.
Yep, the flash licky tongue comes down onto Ian as Peanut just wants to get that initial stun. Prey doesn't do a lot of damage just yet for BDD. He's going to lock that one up. There's the chrono break once again. Beyond is able to lock down the kill with the help of ADD from the top side of the map, but now Khan is given a new lease of life because there's no cannon barrage to respect.
And we do have an ultra-fed Echo in the mid lane. 4-0-1, 100% kill participation. A Proto Belt and then some, probably working towards a Lich Bane on his next back. And while the Gangplank is doing very competitively, the burst trades coming through from the Echo, if that's ever the side lane matchup, are going to be tricky. The Jace only gets stronger with every item. First item complete for Prey as well. This game has gone to hell in a handbag, and it's largely from the mid lane.
Yeah. Man, the Time Winder now can actually clear out the back wave as well, so BDD can make it very dark around where he is with the help of Peanut. You have to always respect where this Echo can be, because if he finds you, he will kill you. He's like Liam Neeson from the mid lane. Because now that he's got a Proto Belt, he will stick onto you with Phase Dive. He's got everything. Man, this Echo is a real terror.
Not often that you look at the two solo laners of a team and you'd rather face the Jace in the side lane.
Yeah, ADD's having a great time. Landing some sweet barrels there as well.
And he is very well farmed. You can see the gold lead. It's more than you might expect at 500, despite the Klepto coming in.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to actually arm to be a little bit more worthwhile in a little while as well. And Khan is at least winning some of these trades back.
You don't actually take melee parlay trades. You don't actually walk up to parlay against the Jace because his turnaround trade is EQ and then hammer form. So
yeah,
it's a lot more about barrels. So he's actually been a little bit less in terms of Kleptomancy income in this game. Feels bad in some ways with giving him lane control over a Jace, which is more than you ever really expect. Peanut has got his Cinder Hulk and just slowly taking down the Rift Herald.
A little bit sad that we haven't seen a few more of the Grasp of the Undying GPs, because they have looked good. As BDD is going to get caught out. He does have the ultimate, so he's just going to use it to pop back. Beyond actually takes a whole bunch of damage.
And BD didn't even flash because he knew he'd be fine after the CC went down.
I don't even think he phase dived.
That was a 0-0-1 Echo. Perhaps it works, but he's got too much gold loaded into him right now.
Yeah. Having the Kindle Gem health as well on that Proto Belt feels okay. ZDD finally messes up the barrel.
He's mortal after all.
Yeah. ADD, the Gangplank god.
We have quite a few of them here in Korea, but we also have a pretty bonkers Gangplank power level, so yeah, hard to praise Gangplank players. Now, when this Gangplank rework came in and GBM was pulling up crazy chain links,
yeah,
right before 2015 Worlds, that was some exciting Gangplank times. But
Pawn from the mid lane as well.
Yeah.
Back when he was on EDG, pretty exceptional play. But we digress.
We do. We've done a lot of digressing today.
It's been a lot of digressing.
The digression was far away from
I
League
think
of
that
Legends.
maybe the digression actually is the League of Legends now at this point. We've switched it all around.
We put this game in the middle of my podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Rude.
I needed something to have going on.
Lane control bot side pretty extensively for the Varus and the Tahm Kench. Expected against Ezreal Alistar, who are much more of a scaling lane. Give them engage options as the game goes on. They walk over to the Mountain Drake. Should be a freebie.
Yep, not going to be able to lock that one down. Prey just charges up his Rage Blade on it. Helps Peanut secure that one as well. So Peanut, for his debut on the Skarner, has actually looked fantastic. 4 kill contribution out of the 5. I mean, one of them was just him throwing a random E at a target.
I mean, we've seen some pretty
die.
rotten performances on the Skarner, so this is a good one.
Oh, and the Abyssal Voyage to come in here as well, just to make sure that Beyond is going to die. But Counter-Strike is going to be in there, Max, with a nice Pulverize. He's going to at least keep them out of there. It's 1v1 on the top side. Khan finally manages to lay the hammer down, and Max, he should get taken out as well. Gorilla says, I want some beef for dinner. He's going to be able to pick that one up. Ian trying to find a target is Prey. Good flash.
Double
Gets
kill.
him out of the way of pilots. And BD is going to hunt him down and look for that kill. Phase dive, that's going to be it. Now Peanut going to be helping as Khan should take down a turret. It's only Ian that lives at the end there. And I got mild dyslexia, but it was Kingzone that came out victorious.
Only mild, though, as 4 for 1 and a turret goes the way of Kingzone. I see the replay here. ADD, you know, he was at 70% health. He thought he was fine. Suddenly, Jace.
Yep.
This replay went on for a long time because Prey was stunned by, of all things, the trample. Auto attack. There's something from chasing onto Jax earlier. The re-engage happens, and unfortunately, BDD is super fed on the Echo. 6 kills and a couple of assists coming through in this passage of play. They're able to chase down the Varus. It didn't matter, as the kills are cleaned up, and Kingzone now finally will command a pretty decent gold lead at just over 3,000.
Absolutely exceptional from Gorilla as well, like incredibly heads up. As soon as Peanut saw anyone in that jungle, there was an Abyssal Voyage coming in to lock down that Jax.
Best teams are ahead of the play. ADD
Okay.
is in a lot of trouble.
He doesn't have anywhere good to go
Nope.
either. There's This is why Phase Dive is so rough. Doesn't find the Proto Belt because he got too far. It's too good. He's going to have a lot more to do as well, as Trouble Bubble is going to be in. Oh my god, that was not exactly great timing. And in goes Ian, tries to find it. If he had got that shield, that would have been almost a turnaround opportunity for BDD. If it doesn't happen, as Beyond now going to get impaled. Khan's going to turn up as well. They'll finish with you later, Ian.
Oh, great hammer.
Now Beyond's in trouble. Khan is going to be able to lock that one up.
Hammered him out of the leap strike ward as well. Khan mechanics always on point. Like you say, there was a potential turnaround if the massive HP shield was going to register as... There is something massive happening. It's in the item build. He has the Lich Bane and more are now complete at 17 minutes with a Mountain Drake. Enjoy him in the side lane, whoever it is.
7-1
Peanut.
2.
Peanut takes the turret just to put down the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and what is this now? It's like Abyssal Voyage to come in. Okay, Ian's gonna get chased after.
Party
they get the
time.
stun. All too easy. There's no Impale even here, and Khan is gonna be able to lock down that kill. No one's tanking the turret. That's okay. Gorilla's just going to be able to devour anyone who's in trouble. And ADD wants to talk to someone about the fact that he had a great laning phase, and it all went to hell around him.
It certainly did. Listen, we had one request at the start of this series. Could we know for sure if Kingzone, after KT stumbled, was actually the best team in Korea? They are styling in this game, and they're not done. Looking for more aggression. Impale back up on Peanut, but for now, pretty respectable. But look who's coming.
Yeah, he's lurking. Beyond not actually going to get stunned by the parallel convergence. That one was close, as they'll take the closest target. BDD down to about half health, though. As Pilot's at least be able to get himself into a good position.
Never truly sure if an Echo is disengaged until you see him coming far, far away from where you're fighting. So the skirmish continues. Stay disengaged with that parallel convergence. Kingzone don't find any more kills, but they're trying to run every quadrant of the map. They're not done with just solo killing in the lanes.
Yep, not quite. 2 outer turrets now picked up so far for Kingzone. Still waiting to grab that bottom outer. As we saw, it was actually very, very low. Trinity Force is now done, at least for ADD. He is a threat on this map. He's got a huge lead as far as farm against Khan.
What does it mean, though? 15 CS when they're splitting them 1-3-1, and I think both Khan and BDD kill ADD in a side lane. It's almost like we want a team fight game plan for once. And definitely get some jungle attention. There's no chance that Khan thinks that ADD is still here. That's why Beyond is coming into the lane.
But also Beyond, where else does he go? I mean, this is the closest to a point of power that they have. Kingzone is going to be able to take down that outer turret on the bottom side. It was way too low to be able to defend anyway. And Beyond actually decides that he doesn't even want to try and fight. This blue buff should belong to Kingzone as well.
Peanut looking for a pick. Impale available. Has the right story as well.
Yep, Phase Dive going to get BDD in there as well. And ADD just explodes. There's a lot of DDs on this map, but most of them are on the side of Kingzone. Because BDD is the one that's styling here.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit, I don't know.
Bit of a Freudian slip there, but this is no slip. This is Kingzone turning onto the Baron. Already below 5,000. No one's coming.
It's only been around for 30 seconds. That's a 30-second-old Baron that you're destroying, Kingzone. Now 3.5 minutes of turrets to also be destroyed. The outer ring's done, so these inners should be starting to fall down.
MVP can only go on the side lanes when neither BDD nor Khan is patrolling them. Frey and Gorilla ever reliably pushing through mid lane. Hasn't been about them this game, as Wit's End just basically supports both of them for their true carries. BDD and Khan, who have 11 kills in 21 minutes, because of course they do.
Of course they do. It's a lot of kills. 7-1 and 4 on an Echo is one of those really scary tab moments where, you know, you're playing top lane and you've just been sitting there on Nasus trying to get your stacks up, and then you press tab like 20 minutes into the game and you're like, oh, that happened.
Not often do you have over 10,000 gold at 21 minutes.
Yep.
That's a lot of gold.
He's pretty strong.
He could probably 1v3
Yeah.
if he was evading the CC.
But also then, like, if he did start 1v3, he could then get out of it at any point with the Chrono Break anyway. With the fact that he's got so much AP, almost now with a Zhonya's for even added safety. dear. It's just going to be real rough for MVP moving forward, but it was rough to begin with as well.
It was a rough assignment, and Game 1 had a lot of good moments for them, even if they weren't able to pick up the victory.
Yeah.
That was the important VOD review. The second one looking like a rough VOD review.
Yep, Crystalline Exoskeleton comes in, the Gorilla's just going to devour the Skarner. Spat out towards MVP.
BDD's still far away here, so this is truly 3v4.
Yep, there's a back coming in for ADD though, so he's going to try and make it 5 as the Impale does come in. Pilot going to have to use the heal as BDD launches himself and decided just assassinates the AD carry. Ian now in trouble as well, but the portal jump going to bring him back to danger, and Khan is going to be one of the lineup. The shock blast. And now Max is in a whole host of trouble. Gorilla is real hungry. Steak for the fish. Turns out, and now Khan is inside the base of MVP. And if you want something that epitomizes this particular game, it's that moment.
They had to zoom out so far that the sounds actually sounded like we were watching a nature documentary.
Yeah.
Hearing rumors of people die. Mid lane turret goes down, 22 minutes in. The Baron buff still being used in the side lane by BDD. Let's have a 10,000 gold. Let's have a 15,000 gold lead. They're actually going to be respectful because of the double split. So they will not get the inhibitor just yet. That just buys time for them to buy sick items and return for the fight against MVP.
Speaking of sick items, you've got Black Cleaver done now for Khan. You've got that Zhonya's Hourglass that I was referring to earlier, picked up already for BDD. He's got 3 items. Blade of the Ruin King almost done here for Prey, unless he wants to go for his Hurricane second. No, it looks like will be the Blade of the Ruin King.
Seems like about 100 armor for the Gangplank against Black Cleaver, which will shred, I believe, 25% of it, and then a lot of Flat Pen as well. So we're close to true damage.
Yeah, he's got a Dust Blade of Drakthar as well, so I was talking about his items before he'd actually gone back. So this Jace, from what was pretty awful at the beginning, he's now 5-0-2 against a 0-4 opponent.
And BDD's going to kill ADD unless he can get away with a teleport.
He's going to collect himself a
no,
little shield. Jump over here, and now ADD is going to have to eat some oranges and hope to God that he's going to be K. Don't know whether he will because Prey's lining up the Chains of Corruption. Finds it. There's the Impale as well. How many oranges do you have? Oh no.
Base dive.
Not very many as Pilot's going to use a long flash to get over this wall. But look, BDD can close so much distance. The time-winded damage is disgusting.
Look who's here.
Yep, Beyond's going to go down as well. The counter-strike is dodged so easily. And half the health that had been done earlier is going to be taken from this inhibitor. This is a beautiful King Zone to watch. When they play this split push so perfectly with these pick compositions as well.
Alice has 25 kills in 24 minutes in the LCK. Such has been the statement made by King Zone. We've wondered who's good, and we've been denied any sort of consistency. The King Zone may drop a series, they may lose a game to Afrika, but they will win this 2-0.
Yeah, they still look damn good. Nexus turrets are going to go down, and that one's actually at very low health, but is still surviving for the moment. BDD has to use a Chrono Break to get himself back, but Beyond, he's there to try and pick up the aggro. Zhonya's going to be utilized. Prey's flashing forward, picking up kills left, right, and center. BDD just ate way too much of that focus fire, and MVP couldn't even get him.
Loving the Echo into the Zoe. Maybe we'll see a couple more times this week before she is permanently put on the bench. Just adding to the KDA, eating some oranges. No one's K for MVP. Everyone's ecstatic for the side of King Zone DragonX, and congratulations to them. They are now cemented as one series in front of any other team in the LCK.
Absolutely fantastic play out of King Zone. It's what we've come to expect, and it was only MVP that they were up against, but we've been asked so many questions about how League of Legends works here in the LCK over the last week, and honestly, we didn't have the right answers half the time. Rocks were able to play extraordinarily well against KT. We were thinking things were up in the air. BBQ demolished Jin Air in our series prior to this one. Thought maybe it was opposite week, but no. Brought back down to earth by King Zone DragonX. Team looking absolutely brilliant. And BDD, that man on your screen right there with the brilliant new hair color. Big fan. Made the Echo look absolutely brilliant. Khan there had a rough early game, but then turned it all around and looked great.
No surprises that with Jace on the top lane, King Zone were able to find up a victory, but the BDD Echo and just how it worked against the portal jump was beautiful to watch. Clearly something he'd been practicing who were denied it multiple series in a row, and I guess this was him reflecting on some of the games they lost against Zoe's, where they would go into a Azir and they fall behind. He was able to be self-sufficient and rush down, and Ian got caught 2-3 times. Don't see that matchup in solo queue too often. The Echo against the Zoe. But it worked a treat in competitive play, and Kingzone, with that clear win, now are very far away from Afrika and also the opposition in KT. Those are still series that have to roll, so we will see those in the second round robin. The KT series especially going to be a fun one. But right now we know about Kingzone DragonX. The thing I'm excited about, Atlas, is when we rejoin the LCK tomorrow morning, or I guess the first match tomorrow evening, it will be SK Telecom against Afrika, and that will also shed some light on who is joining Kingzone in the top 3.
Well, and the funny thing is that SKT are on such a tear at the moment, looking so much better. The fact that the roster has started to come together, the bottom lane looking brilliant, Bang with KDAs off the charts for now, and Faker still there, still being brilliant. Certainly is an opportunity for them to possibly get back in, but man, it's going to be so tough. SKT versus Longzhu last year was something that we had a lot of hype around, and we were wondering whether Longzhu would be able to do it. Now Kingzone DragonX, it looks like that is going to be a tall ask for the likes of SKT, but if they can continue to improve, that is good news.
And we have the gauntlet here, so if they finish the regular season in first place, they'll be in a final, and compared to the fairy tale it required last year, they will come in favorites, barring a big, precipitous drop-off at the end of the season. The MVP here, surely it will be BDD. It is 9-1-9 in a 22-minute win. BDD was playing basketball, but he was the only one that got it. He was a ball hog. He decided he was going to win it all on his own, and now he moves third place, as unfortunately he's got other good players stealing votes from him.
Yeah, well, exactly. And it seems like most of Kingzone are just chilling on 500 points. But there was just no getting away, and the parallel convergence that landed before is all why this MVP is deserved by BDD,
Matt's
honestly.
so depressed that he invested his flash here and was half a second too late.
Yeah.
It started with Khan going for his baiting game, and this happened to first Beyond on the Jax, then to ADD, who when he saw the teleport came in, must have known that he was in strife. A bit of a slow from Peanut, and he was like, well, let's leave this for the mid laner, hopefully he'll get fed. Oh boy, did he get fed.
Oh yeah. Didn't want to waste his time, did Peanut, as this dive was also expert. So many ways to disengage from turrets as well. The Devour and with the Chrono Break.
He just controls so much space when the map is long, and you have both a Skarna with a Crystalline Exoskeleton and also a Proto-Belt Echo to patrol the side lanes. ADD got all the farm we wanted. What if? The what if didn't matter. He almost turned this all around as well. If the shielded arm, who knows what might have happened. But then we got to the silly streaks, then we got to the late game of this short game, and that's when BDD had too many items and started training down people.
Yeah,
Watch Pilot's health
that
bar.
trouble bar.
Proto-Belt, Auto, Time Winder dead. And he was still going after that.
Yep, that was just one round of spells. And what are you going to do as an Ezreal who is on welfare a bit this game as well, because the bottom lane actually played quite well out of Kingzone. I mean, there were not a lot of bad news stories. So as we go to the MVP interview, we're going to hand it over to Andy to take us through the last interview of the night.
Thank you, guys. We are back again with another LCK MVP interview, and we are now sitting down with Peanut and BDD of Kingzone DragonX.
네, 2라운드 들어서 이제 두 번째 승리를 또 가져갔습니다.
Now you take another victory.
오늘 2대0 승리. 소감이
How do you feel about the clean 2-0 victory today?
퀴전을 저희가 졌는데
I mean, last time we played against MVP, we lost.
그래서 좀
So
약간 저희가 좀 심각성을 알고
So we realized
해야 될 필요가 있다.
the importance of beating them, and today we beat
그래서
them.
오늘 경기 진짜 좀 무서우리만큼 막 일방적으로 상대를 밀어붙인 장면도
So
있었는데
today you guys were absolutely obliterating the enemy today.
네, 되게 오랜만에 재밌게 했던 것 같고.
I mean, it's been a while since I've had so much fun today.
되게 다 같이 잘한 것 같아서 좋아요.
I'm just happy that we all played well.
세트 때 사실 초반에 칸 선수가 좀 고생을 하는
In the first set, Khan had a rough time in the start,
그런 장면들이 있어요. 게다가 칸 선수가 과거에 또 한 발언들이
예,
있지
탑이
않습니까?
망하면 정글 타.
and Khan in the past said that if Khan suffers in the game, the whole team kind of stumbles.
그러니까 이제 좀 동아 형한테 만약 이렇게 탑이 약간 불리해지거나
I mean,
턴을 받으면
when
이제
Khan
다른 데서 이제
kinda gets
공격을
behind,
해주고 그런 걸 말해주다 보니까 이제는 딱 그런 건 없고 게임
We
내에서도
just try to just try to compliment and just do other great things in the map.
그래서 그 와중에 어쨌든 자크가 좀 오늘 강하게 이득을 좀 보고 본인은 정글을 돌면서
And your Zac was just playing really good today, and you try to focus around the objectives as well.
1경기는 솔직히 그러니까 약간 좀 실수였고요.
In the first set, I've made a couple of mistakes.
갑자기 잘못 시나시네요.
저는 2경기를 말한 줄 알았는데 1경기를
I thought you guys were talking about the second game, but I made a couple of mistakes in the first game.
말해서 그냥 서로 끝나고 얘기를 주고받는데 이제 약간 좀
So Khan and I had a small talk after the game, and we gave feedback to each other.
1세트 얘기 나오니까 화들짝 놀라시네요.
You seem pretty startled.
1경기에서 레오나가 또 등장하면서 뭐 오늘 경기에서 레오나들이 뭐 계속 나오고 있는데
You know, a lot of Leonas today.
같이 시너지 때문에 쓴 건가요?
Do you think Leona synergizes well with your team comp?
저희가 되게 조합이 단단하고
예.
I mean, we try to build up a solid teamwork and like team composition.
생각하면서 했던 것 같아요.
So I think Leona was a good pick.
선수 되게 좋아하시는 것 같아요. 예.
판단해라고 해가지고
발음상의 문제를 또.
Yes, yeah, we try to build up on solid teamwork.
1세트가 사실 상대가 드래곤도 다 가져가고.
In the first set, you know, the enemy took all the dragons,
뽀삐가 뭐 3점포 날리면서 막
and the Poppy, you know, I mean, I couldn't smite well that time.
아까 이제 좀 경기 때도 너무 약간 욕심 부리는 것도 있어서
I mean, even in the tournament, like,
정리해왔고요.
I've gotten a little greedy.
정리해서 아예 스마 싸움 안
And,
보고 그냥
you know,
싸움만 보려고
just like self-reflecting on myself.
거의 그런 경우가 안 나왔던 것 같아요 오늘 같은 경우.
So my smite was kind of miscalculated.
네.
저는 그냥 운이 없었다고라고.
I feel like the Poppy one, I was just really unlucky.
어떻게 보면
결과만 못 보면 그냥 강타 써서 먹은 것 같아요.
그렇죠.
네.
It's almost like
그리고
Poppy used his
중간에
smite.
1세트 때 어쨌든 크로노 브레이크 현상이
You know, in the second set, in the second game, we had the chrono break session.
아래쪽에서 저희도 중계석 아래쪽에서 막 괴성이 들리고 막 그랬단 말이에요.
깜짝 놀랐어요.
예.
무슨 얘기를 한 거예요?
So what happened?
약간 퍼즈 시간이 좀 길어서.
So during the
이제
pause,
분위기 할겸
it was really long, so we tried to just like
그런 느낌이었던 것 같아요. 이제
just
좀 들리지
liven the
않아요?
atmosphere.
이제 관중석에 있으신 팬분들도 약간 좀 처질 수 있으니까 웃으시라고 이제 해줬던 것 같아요.
So I kind of did a small act to make the audience happy.
그 사자우를 좀 따라 해주실 수 있나요?
So can you repeat it, please?
저기 뭐
왜 고개를 돌리고 그러세요? 당당히 쳐다보세요.
네.
피너 선수.
문 살짝 뭐 열어 그냥 여기 다 들리지 않으면서 아 하면서
Yeah, that's pretty much what he did.
네, 굉장히 힘이 없네요. 예, 아까도 되게 힘있게 카 선수가 한 것 같은데 그래서 2세트 때 이제 스카너를 또 피넛 선수가
In the second set, Peanut, you
플레이를
picked
했어요.
Scanner.
스카너가 나와서 그런지 해설자분들이 1세트에 한번 언급을 하셨잖아요.
예, 뭐 스카너에 대한 여러 가지.
So you know, we had a conversation about Scanner.
저는 이제 처음 저희가 설날 휴가였잖아요.
예.
이제 모든 LCK 팀이 휴가였는데 저는
You know, all the LCK teams had a holiday.
랑 이제 송 코치님이랑 많이 얘기를 나눠봤는데
And I talked with the coaches, and the coaches told me that Scanner is actually a really good pick. So I've prepared a lot and tried to get ready for Scanner.
그래서 이제 에코 얘기를 또 해봐야 될 텐데.
Okay, now let's talk about the Echo.
그동안 한 번도 꺼내들지 않았던 카드였거든요.
You know, you never pulled out the Echo card
어떻게
before.
나오겠는지.
일단 미드 정글 싸움에서도 세고
I mean, Echo is really strong in mid jungle skirmishes, and I feel like it's just generally really good.
좀 좋은 것 같다.
네, 나쁘지 않다고 생각해요.
Yes, it's not bad at all.
구도가 뭐 이후에 8.4가 되면 당연히 많은 것들이 바뀌겠죠.
You know, 8.4 patch, we're gonna see a lot of differences.
은근히 미드 쪽에서 조이나 뭐 라,
For now.
뭐 이런 것도 티오가 은근히 내려가는 것 같기도 하고 BDD 선수 영향 때문인지.
So, how do you feel? Do you think Zoe and Rakan's gonna go down in tier after the patch?
어떻게 생각하세요?
선수 개인마다 뭐 솔로 랭크에서 해보고 그러면
I mean, every player is gonna have a different opinion on their solo queue stats.
막 안 좋다 생각한다고 얘기가 나오면 그거에 되게 생각 많이 안 하고 자기만의 생각이 있으면
So yeah, everyone just has a different opinion on their picks.
또 중요하다.
네 자기만의 연구도 막 필요하고 그런 거.
Yeah, but every player just tries hard to experiment the new meta.
상다른 팀들 입장에서는 까다로운 그런 뱀픽이 되지 않을까 생각이 듭니다. 또 좋은 소식이 있어요. BDD
Another good
선수.
news, BDD.
네.
생일이에요.
It's your birthday today.
내일 뭐 계획이 많은 분들이 또 축하해주고 계시네.
Thank you.
내일 뭐 계획 따로 있나요?
네?
Do Do you have any plans?
대회가 하루 남아서 더 열심히 연습해서
It's only one day before another
그렇게 해야 될것
tournament.
같아요.
So yeah, I can't let my guard down.
내 생일인데
뭐 팀원들이 예, 그런 거 해주나요?
So
네, 해줘야죠.
are you gonna do anything for him?
아니, 알고 있었고요.
Yeah, we'll try to.
경기 시작 전에 알고 있었고.
We knew before the game that it was his birthday.
뭐 해주지
So we are probably gonna go back to the gaming house and do a small treat for him.
감독 코치님들이 굉장히 분주할 것 같습니다. 네, 어쨌든 오늘 멋진 경기력으로 또
So thank you again for your performance today.
마지막으로 팬분들께 각자 한마디.
Any last words to your fans today?
PDD 선수부터.
BDD, you first.
일단 오늘 생일이라고 팬분들이 도시락을 챙겨주셨는데
Thank you guys. It's my birthday today, so you guys gave me like small gifts and lunch boxes. So I really appreciate it. And Peanut, you too?
이 연전 또 경기가 바로 앞에 있기 때문에 또
So we do have another game coming up soon. So we'll get ready.
3주년이었는데 3주년 축하해 주신 분들한테
And it's our third year anniversary today. So thank you guys.
다시 한번 MVP 축하드리겠습니다.
Thank you guys.
네, 이렇게 해서 국건 1위 자리를 지키고 있는 킹
And that sums up the MVP interview.
기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 이상으로 인터뷰 마치겠습니다.
And we'll throw it back to casters.
Thank you very much, Andy. I had no idea when it was actually going to finish because we're losing our minds a little bit after what has been a really long and very confusing day of League of Legends. But in the end, it was the understood result from this particular series.
And a happy birthday for tomorrow. Of course, last match day before his birthday is today. So
Yeah.
happy birthday to BDD. He's 19 years of age tomorrow. Feels like he's been around a while. We were waiting for his debut 2 years ago in
Yeah.
spring of 2016. Only turned 17 halfway through spring. He's 19 2 years later. And at the peak of his powers, it feels like maybe he hasn't reached the ceiling. That's a scary thought after dominating in his first game on Echo and the LCK, and suddenly the game score and also the match score working for Kingzone DragonX. Good luck catching up to them. They are once again way out in front.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have to be a match in front of Kingzone DragonX if you're ever going to get yourself to a position where you can challenge them, because double the second place on plus 14. The amount of 2-0s his team has managed to put together is relatively high.
And will Kingzone lose 2 more matches this season? Your first thought is probably no. But guys, tomorrow the first match. Get up early, enjoy this one. Afrika Freaks and SK Telecom T1. SKT in a 4-match win streak. Afrika Freaks, one of our top 3 teams. Before KT and Kongdu Monster. KT Rolster coming off a loss. They're prone to tripping up, so there's no guarantees they'll dispatch Kongdu Monster in easy fashion.
Yeah, it's exciting to see whether SK Telecom are going to continue that upward trend and whether KT Rolster are going to continue that downward trend. How far does the trip go when it comes to KT? I'm not entirely sure, because you know, it's been a massive trip that we've gone on today, Papa
Yes, it
Smithy.
has.
As far as trips are concerned, they can go any distances and to any dimension.
And no aids required. We got this trip just from crazy
Oh, yeah.
League of Legends shenanigans along pause. We're going to be on screen again, but this time it won't be because of a pause. It's unfortunately
thank
because
goodness.
we're soon going to be bidding you adieu for what has been a very interesting day of LCK.
Yeah, very true, but we will both be seeing you tomorrow as well, guys, so we'll see you back then, and hopefully no more pauses. Good night.